welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. We're back at it. I gotta be honest, I don't know what we're going to talk about. Like, there's no way we're going to fill a full hour. I'm excited to see what kind of chaos we get into, but more importantly, excited to see who we have in the streets this morning. We got Rowdy Rods here, Sneeps here, Snoop Loop letting us know happy National Avocado Day. The common man, all right. T-Man's here. Stubbs, good morning. Good morning, NBA says, good morning, dames and gents. I see what you did there. Patrick's up and early. Bowdevine's here. Veronica wants to talk about Miami. We got Boston Base fresh off his big 3 appearance. Airplane mode. We the people. Evan Nico. Courtside's here. Everybody here. Mark Zakarian is Mike's dentist brother. Okay. I don't know what we're talking about, but that's fine. Chris Wilson's here. Let's do it. We the people said we could talk about the money we made yesterday. Listen, we the people, this is what I do every Sunday night, okay? I don't really bet baseball. I do a lot of DFS. I don't really have a good feel for like props and parlays and everything like this. So every Sunday at around 6:55, I send him a message and I said, "What are we tailing today?" Or "What am I tailing today?" He's not tailing. He's actually making the bet. And it's for Orioles Yankees, which like first pitch is 10 minutes after I message him, and he sent me 2 bets and 1 smash. So it was a quick, I think I put 10 on each. We got like 220 back, I think. We'll take it. It's a good W. Good W for everybody. Garen's here, Flolian. Let's go. Everybody's here. Hey, real quick, just before we get into it, I fired up, I was bored yesterday, so fired up a little giveaway on the Twitter. So if you haven't seen it, we're going to give away Anthony Mello, Jesus, Anthony Edwards debut and a LaMelo debut, commons, of course. So I'm going to drop a link into the chat. You can follow along on the Twitter. You know what you need to do. Oh my God, T-Man said he got an NBA sweatshirt. Let's go. If you haven't bought a shirt yet, teamholdnft.com. Check that out. Links in the bio. All right, I can feel, for those that live in the Northeast, something beautiful happened late Saturday night. A storm rolled in. It got real loud and crazy for like 15 minutes. And then all of a sudden, humidity left, and it was beautiful yesterday. It was a beautiful day. I feel like it's a beautiful day. And what's been terrible about it, though, is my sinuses have gone berserk. So if you hear me go, that's why. But yeah, so anyway, I hope everybody had a good weekend. I don't know what everybody got into. I played softball. That was the extent of my weekend. We had our last regular season softball game. And did we hit another home run? Yes, we did. I watched that. Or I hit that. What else did we do? I watched the Steph Curry documentary. I don't know. You guys want to start with the Steph Curry documentary and the Dame stuff? Chris said that storm knocked the power out for 2 days. Good Lord. Yeah, whatever you guys want to start with. We can start with the Dame story and the Steph Curry doc. Though those you guys can decide. And those are literally the only 2 topics I have for today. So I have no idea what else we're going to get into. I also started watching Justified. I started watching Justified. Both the new one and the old one. I'm watching the new one without watching the old one, the original. But now I started watching the original because I'm excited. Flolian says we need to get into some So Rare talk. Maybe towards the end. I'm gonna start the weekly one. This week. I think that's starting this week. So maybe I'll save that. Jump shoots asking it. No, I'm not gonna make a YouTube poll. All right, forget it. I'm just going to decide. So I watched the Steph Curry documentary last night, which is on Apple, which I had like some mixed feelings about just because, like I said, I made this joke last week, right? That if you produce your own documentary, your enemy should get to produce one as well, right? I think that should be the rule. But anyways, I watched it. After watching, Kelsey was very excited to watch the Steph on the Hot Ones, and it was good. The Hot Ones are it's the same. The hot ones should be 10 minutes long. I feel strongly about that. I don't think that needs to be a 30-minute show. 10 minutes in and out. That's how the hot one should go. I know that's probably not good for business for them, but that's how I feel. But anyways, after watching that, we're like, you know what? We're gonna watch the doc, and it was entertaining. It was very nostalgic for me. I remember I was a first year grad student at the University of South Florida. Go Bulls, bam, bam, bam. And I remember watching Steph and Davidson go on that run, and that was fun. That was like magical, and it was so easy to root for him after that. I think people do forget though that he played another year after that. I think everybody's like, oh, he went ham in the tournament and then jumped to the NBA, but then he came back and played another one. It was good. I honestly I cared a little less about like him breaking the record and follow. Maybe it's because they beat the Celtics in the finals, but cared a little bit less about the current season. I just like wanted to live in Davidson for a little bit. They had a lot of the players in it. The dude who missed that game-winning shot was pretty powerful. Also, it was cool just seeing Steph still hanging out with those dudes. Also, it not to spoiler, but it ends with like Steph graduating from Davidson finally, and I don't know. I didn't really care about that. Like, congrats on getting your degree. I don't know. I'm sure there's some meaning behind it. For me, it doesn't. It's not as moving seeing someone who has everything being like, "I finally finished my bachelor's." I just don't care. I don't care about that. But it was really cool going back and just like reliving the Davidson stuff and like listening to the calls and I also forgot how close that game was, like how close they were to going to the Final Four. I remember the Georgetown game more than I remember the first round game. And then in the to go to the Elite Eight, who did they beat? They beat Wisconsin, I think. And I remember that game. I remember them losing to Kansas. I do not remember that being like they had a shot to win. I don't remember that at all. Anyway, so it's worth watching. Like if you followed college ball at that time, or if you're just a Steph fan, yeah, BA fun. No, it's not Bachelor of Art. I don't care. Everybody go get your degrees. That's fine. I'm not here to circle the wagons around the journey Steph Curry took to finish his 4-year education. Like, I don't care. Oh wait, Top Shot comment. This is a good take. He says worst part of his new Justified is his mumble mouth daughter. Do you want to know a fun little fact here, Common Man? That's his actual daughter. That's Timothy Oliphant's actual daughter, which is like nice. That's like a cool thing that's happening. But yeah, that is a little tough. Who knows? Maybe it gets better though. Maybe it gets a little bit better. I'm gonna give it some time. And also maybe that character's out of the picture now. You know, maybe that character's out of the picture. So I don't know. But anyways, that's it. If nobody else has any Steph takes or Davidson takes, whatever, we can just talk about the Dame thing. The Dame thing was kind of funny. That was like a little Friday afternoon news dump too, right? Oh, God, it's too hot for these headphones today. I'm sorry, guys. It was like a Friday afternoon news dump. I was surprised by that because it felt like the NBA was trying to send a message, but usually when they do that, when they do that, it doesn't come out on Friday afternoons. You know, Friday afternoons is stuff they're trying. Nobody wants to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, people mad about nepotism. You know what, guys? Find something else to be, right? Let Timothy Oliphant and his daughter cook. So the memo came out on Friday. Shams reported it, and all it was saying, like, if you sift through it, all it was saying was like, "Hey, can you guys like chill out a little bit? Can you stop making it look bad?" Like, I don't think anything's actually going to happen from this. I don't think anybody's getting fined. I don't think any trades are getting vetoed. I don't think anything like that is happening. But I do think it's kind of funny that they're just like, hey, this looks really bad for us. It looks really bad that this dude who's under contract for like 3 or 4 more years is saying like, oh wait, Veronica says the reality is the NBA does not like Miami. So now seemed like the right time to slap players on the wrist. This is like the homerist of Homer take. This is like right out of Dan Le Batard's mouth. That's not what's happening right now. It's the same thing. Anthony Davis got slapped a little bit when he was like, doing his thing. I mean, Chris Paul's trade got vetoed. I don't think this has anything to do with Miami or Portland for that matter. I think it's because Ben Simmons is allowed to do this, but not Dame. Ben Simmons wasn't saying he wouldn't play for any other teams. Ben Simmons also got fined by his team, right? So Ben Simmons was forced. He had to pay, and I forget how it did it with. I forget what happened, like when it went to the courts and stuff. But Ben Simmons was penalized. Ben Simmons was penalized for what happened. So that's not the same situation at all. Ben Simmons said, I wouldn't get traded. Ben Simmons did get traded. And it wasn't like Ben Simmons was like, I'll only play for Brooklyn. Ironically, Ben Simmons didn't play for anybody. But I think what the problem is the NBA just doesn't like them saying, like, not only am I not going to play out my contract, I'll only play for this team when you don't have a no trade clause. So I don't think this has anything to do with I actually don't think this has to do with like backing Portland or the Blazers complaining or anything like that. I really do think it's because it's making like the NBA look dumb. I think that's part of it. So we'll see. I don't think this affects anything. I think Dame will still go to Miami. I just think it's going to take a little while. That's it. I don't really think this is. I think this is more of a exterior, like how they look, than anything else. So I think he still goes to Miami. I think they're just like, hey, can you guys shut up about it though? You maybe just stop going on Instagram Live. Can you guys just like shut up for a second? I think that was part of it. I'm ready for the saga to end though. Like it feels like we all know the ending of the story, and we're like, well, I have to sit through 6 more episodes. Like we already know where this is going. Let's just get there. Let's just get there. What is kind of funny too, like this won't matter. This isn't even going to matter unless another team steps up to like put something out there. You know what I mean? Like if he's saying like, hey, I only want to go to Miami. The only time this becomes a problem is if another team actually offers up a deal for Dame, right? And that there's been no rumors of that. There's been no rumors of any other team dangling any other offers, which goes back like other people have come up with offers. They're like weighing the Maxey versus Hero thing. There was the Jaylen Brown conversation for a little bit, right? The 3-way with the Clippers, right? Stuff like that. But there's no one's actually putting a deal there. So it's not like he can be like, oh, I'm not going to go to that team because no other teams have offered anything. So that's why I keep saying like, this is just an exterior thing. This is just like, hey, can you just shut up? Don't make us look dumb. Veronica said, serious question. Do we think Supermax deals cause these problems? I haven't finished listening to it, but this morning when I was taking the dog out, I was listening to the Hoop Collective with Brian Windhorst, Bontemps, and McMahon. And I think one of the things that happened, right, like is when, and again, I'm like quoting them. This isn't my take, but when Kevin Durant left the Thunder for the first time, and the Thunder didn't get anything in return, they were like, wow, this really burns small market teams, right? Small market teams, like they got nothing back, right? The homegrown talent, KD's there forever, but because of the way the CBA was structured, KD can just walk. So then they kind of tweaked it a little bit. So that way, like they can sign these Supermax deals. And then if they get moved, at least OKC's getting something in return. And I think this has just been an adverse effect of that there's like no free agency. And we talked about this last week a little bit, but like like when's the last time a real superstar has actually hit free agency? Was it Kevin Durant? Do you know what I mean? Like we don't see it a lot. Most of the time now we just see somebody sign a deal and then ask to be moved out. So I guess that's kind of part of it. Patrick says, I wonder if this is taking so long because the writers on strike. They haven't been able to finish the next season's script. Yeah, there we go. I mean, under this situation, should the players also strike too? Because that means if the writers are on strike, that makes the basketball players actors, and technically SAG is on strike as well. So there you go. Cavs got nothing when LBJ left. That's the NBA. Yeah, but regulator, that's what we're saying. Like because of situations like that, the way deals have been structured have changed. Right. And LeBron is such a unique case because like LeBron, I feel like handled free agency differently than everybody else. He really has. Travel Addict, guys. Good to see you there. But all that to say, I don't really think this matters. I mean, I think Dame's still going to go there. And I think we'll find maybe it doesn't happen until like late October. Maybe the season starts. Who knows? But I still feel like he's going there because Portland clearly needs to make a move. They clearly want to get something in return. Dame wants to play. And then Miami this is the other thing, and it's probably why Miami's tweaking a little bit, and they just have to be patient because the longer this goes on, the less they're probably going to have to give up for Dame anyways, unless Portland's just like, you know what, we're fine with Dame not playing. But you remember what the key additions Miami has had this year has been none, right? They lost Gabe Vincent to the Lakers, they lost Max Strus to the Cavs. I guess they're like banking on dudes right now like Haywood Highsmith and Nikola Jovic if they keep him. Tyler Hero coming back healthy. But now you got Hero, who has been burned a little bit by Miami in the sense that he's being dangled out in every trade deal, whether he's going to go to Brooklyn in a 3-team trade or he's going to go to Portland or wherever he's going to go. So if it does put Miami a little bit in the blender, because they need to get Dame. They need to get Dame there to give them a shot. Because it is funny without Dame. I mean, I know everyone's like, well, they are the team. They're the defending Eastern Conference champions. So by definition, they're clearly a contender. And I don't think that is. And that's not to call it fluky, but I mean, they did lose like Gabe Vincent and Max Strus. That's like 60 minutes of basketball. Kyle Lowry's a year older. You know what Jimmy does in the regular season, which is like play 40% of the games. But it's so funny. Like if they don't get Dame, what are they, like a 5 to 8 seed, maybe four seed in the regular season? They could still turn it on in the playoffs, but regular season I'm talking. However, if Dame shows up, they're immediately a top 3 team, right? They're immediately in the echelons of Boston and Milwaukee. So yeah, Udonis finally retired too. Merkamice, what do you say? Miami should pick up Dame and Dalvin Cook. Keep things interesting for the city. There you go. The Dalvin Cook stuff. I saw who was it? I saw some report about him like losing a little bit of leverage now that Jonathan Taylor asked out. What a weird thing. That Jonathan Taylor story was crazy. I just get like a push notification that he demands a trade. And then Jim Irsay goes on Twitter and he's basically like, if he dies, he dies. It's a weird response from an owner. It's just always so funny with people that have that much money but are that active on social media. You're going to get good stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I still think Dame gets there, and I still think Miami ends up being like a top tier team, and then it doesn't matter. Like all of this is going to be a moot point, and then we'll have like a big emotional moment the first time Miami plays Portland in Portland. Maybe Tyler Hero's out there. Who knows? Well, he'll be out there one way or the other. But that's how it's this 17 minutes, 18 minutes. That's all we got today. There's been no NBA news, nothing exciting happening. I strolled through the news all weekend. I feel like podcasts in general are going to be dead this week, and it sucks because I need some more weirdness. I saw Dr. J had a top 10 that was kind of crazy. Dr. J, let me see if I can pull that up, actually. I don't know if you guys saw that over the weekend. I forget what he was being interviewed with. Man, I know that's so itchy. I forget what he was being interviewed with or by whom. And his top 10 was just kind of, it reminds us that like all of our top 10s are just people we grew up watching. Right, here we go. I got it here. It's Bleacher Report. It was via Joy D'Angelo. Okay, cool. All right, let me share this screen right here. God, my nose is so itchy this morning. All right, so his top 10, Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Oscar Robinson, Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, Kareem, Michael Jordan, Magic, Karl Malone, Tiny Archibald. So like the only dudes that he like really, I mean, Karl Malone is crazy. The Karl Malone one is so crazy. But this just goes to show you guys, all we care, it's like people we watch. You know what I mean? We're always going to gravitate towards those being the best. And that's why like I'll always think Michael is better than Jordan. It's why there's always like this Kobe camp. Because, like, if you grew up and that was, like, the dude you looked up to, that's why, like, Larry is a legend. But for the same reason. So it is kind of funny, though, just seeing somebody who is a great, who played against a lot of those dudes. Like, of course, when Dr. J was, like, young and coming up, he listed all the dudes that he looked up to. So we're all biased. Nothing matters. None of this matters. But that was fun. All right, what else we got? People are saying the Max Scherzer trade. I just don't care. Poor Mets fans, dude. So supposedly, who did they trade? Daniel Robertson? Is that who it was? Robinson? I don't know. One of the relief pitchers got moved on Friday night, I think, and then Max Scherzer was like, I need to talk to management, and then they got him out of here the next day. I saw a crazy stat for the first time in baseball history. maybe major sports history. One player is going to get paid $15 million by 3 different teams. So he's making $15 million from his initial Nats deal. He's making $15 million from, or it's like $28 million from the Mets, and then the Rangers have to pay him $15 million. 3 different teams are paying Max Scherzer this year $15+ million. Nutso. So there it was Robertson. Okay, thank you. Got it right the first time. But yeah, there you go. So there's your minute of baseball. Actually, I did watch a lot of baseball this weekend, surprisingly. I don't know. What else you guys want to do? Something else I can bring up. You might have seen this on Twitter. Hold on, let me close out of this. Pulled up, started snagging some NBA bottom shots. Here we go. This is the official collection here. The official collection right now. So as I said, we were keeping the Nikola Jokic. The Jason Tate, this is actually going. This is in 6 days. This has to be sent. I think it's Gerjot who won this. He's going to get it. But so I held on to, out of all the moments, people didn't claim some moments. I held on to the Kelsey Plum and the DT debuts. I also held on to the Time Lord debut. And then the Jokic was a gift. I bought the Mark Williams. Everybody saw that. Our man Skeet sent over a PJ Washington. So you're damn right. We're going to do a PJ Washington drop right now.
PJ Washington. PJ Washington. PJ Washington.
There we go. And then I bought a J-Dub TST. You guys know how I feel about the Thunder. I bought that one. I bought a Jalen Green TST. I actually think I bought the J-Dub from Rocket Science Era, Mr. Breakfast Cereals, who then I think as a peace offering sent over a Tyree Eason debut. But anyways, I bought J-Dub, Jalen Green, Josh Giddey, and then Darius Garland. And as you can see, the one thing that I have in common with all of this shit is the badges. So that's where I'm landing there on the badges. And then I'm done. I think I'm done for a little bit. And, like the next time, if you guys remember, I won that Magic Rare Anthology moment from, I forget who it was, Zach Binkley, I think. And after winning that, I decided, hey, we're going to turn that into a bunch of other stuff. So there you go. All right. George said still haven't DM'd you about the one I won, as I thought you'd be swamped in them. Yeah, well, it's over, dude. It's too late, George. It's too late. So there you go. There's your Top Shot minute. People said, is it back? I don't know. I don't think so. All right. Fake says, what So Rare edition would you be most excited for the oncoming NBA season? Okay. We can do this for a little bit. I am going to do a show, but I think I'm going to post a video on this Wednesday or Thursday. I'm going to try to record it on Tuesday, put it out Wednesday. Travel says that was crazy. You still gave away your whole collection. You know what, though? I feel free, dude. I feel so free. Honestly, I feel free. And not only that, I was excited to do a little shopping. It's a mentality thing, I look at my account, it no longer says, hey, that Jason Tatum you bought, it's no longer down 2 million. That's fun. I like that feeling. But for So Rare, the editions, I don't know, man. I think it's going to be continuing. Listen, if you have a budget, what you have to do is go buy really good players, right? That's what you have to do. Go buy your SGAs, your Giannis's, your Jokic's, your Tatum's, all of those, your Lukas, all those dudes. But I think for those, like filling out those spots, I'm trying to target I try to target teams that people aren't really thinking about. I think the Thunder were that team for a while, but now I think people know that Jalen Williams is good. They know that SJ is a monster. I think people are excited about what Chet Holmgren can be. So I don't know. They might be a little bit too on the nose of, or too much in the conversation. I think the Minnesota Timberwolves guys outside, I mean, Anthony Edwards is appropriately priced, but the dudes like Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert, even though we've got feelings about Rudy Gobert, they still, like, fantasy wise they have a pretty consistent floor with like a decent ceiling, but you don't see their cap jump too much. So guys like that are pretty interesting to me. I saw people talking about Jordan Poole. Yeah, Jordan Poole is probably going to go ham. But then what's going to happen with Poole, and you have to remember like how this So Rare scoring, it reminds me of like the difference between FanDuel and DraftKings, where a turnover on FanDuel is -1, but on DraftKings it's a 0.5. And with the turnovers being, was it -2? Jordan Poole is going to be a turnover monster because he was already a turnover monster on Golden State, and that was playing limited minutes. And now you're going to put the ball in his hand a bunch of times. I think he's going to, I think he's going to be a great play. Like if you have him, that's great. But the turnovers is going to be a real thing. But Kuzma is in that same situation. I don't think people are excited to talk about Kuzma, but you've removed Bradley Beal, you've removed Kristaps Porzingis, and we saw what Kuz did when Beal and Porzingis would miss time. He'd be crazy. And then they've only really, I know Tyus Jones is in there too. Tyus Jones is someone that's going to finish with like 14, 10, and 7 almost every single game. So I think he could be kind of fun. Staying in Washington too, I'm kind of interested how they use Denny Avdia and Corey Kispert this season, and I feel like they're going to be in trade conversations as you get closer to the trade deadline, assuming Washington has no interest in winning basketball games. So that's I kind of like Kuz. I like that whole squad. I think could be kind of fun. San Antonio is going to be a weird team, but I feel like Trey Jones might be in play. I think everybody's like, oh my God, Wemby's there. He's going to be the entire offense. He's going to be the guy that goes nuts. And I think he's more going to be like a defensive monster early on anyways. Not to say that we saw him put up like 27 and 12 in summer league. Not to say those games aren't going to happen, but I think dudes like Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, maybe not as much, but Devin Vassell, even Trey Jones, I feel like could be pretty solid. And then I know Regulator was asking about Cade. Yeah, I'm excited to see Cade this week this year, because I don't know. I think he lost a little bit of his shine just because we didn't see him for a full year. And part of that is because Detroit was just like, hey, we're going to try to get Wemby. So I like him. I think, yeah, I'm a little less excited about Jaden Ivey. So, I'm not going to tell you buy or sell stuff, but Jaden Ivey might be somebody I don't know. I wouldn't be selling him because we'll see what happens. But Bilal Coulibaly, yeah, he's fun. That's a good one. As a Washington fan, we definitely have no interest in winning. Yeah, but that's good for So Rare usually. That's usually good for So Rare. You might get burned on occasion when they're just like, oh, Jordan Poole missed the train today, so he's not going to play, stuff like that. You'll get like weird scratches. But again, you only need one. You only need one game for it to count, right? Jump shoots to ask about Paolo. Yeah, I'm sure Paolo and Franz both take a little bit more of a leap. Yeah, Paolo's a good call. I'm trying to think, what other squads would I like off the top of my head? Am I like trying to target? I think Sacramento is always fun too, because it's just like, yeah, Sabonis and Fox are always going to be like great plays. They're usually like your second guy in an MVP type lineup. I'm interested to see what the So Rare guys do with daily NBA comps. With the NBA bringing daily NBA comps, is that what you're saying? You think you're excited for that? Yeah, I'm excited to see I feel like we're going to get an announcement in the next month. I feel like it's coming in August, right? I feel like in August we'll get a lot of information about what this new season's going to look like, what kind of contests they'll be rocking with, how they're going to get us to spend money, all that stuff. So I am looking forward to that. Bottom line said Portland should have some interesting pieces, assuming Dame gets traded. Yeah, right? Like Shaden Sharp, Scoot, of course. Anthony Simons. I wonder what they do with Anthony Simons. Do you think we're going to get a move from him? I know he was in a lot of trade talks before the draft, and I wonder if they consider him a core piece or if he's kind of a tweener, right? Like Simons is still pretty young, but I don't know if he makes sense of the timeline of what Portland's trying to do, right? And so I wonder if they're like, hey, listen, we've got Scoot, we've got Shaden Sharp, we like what we're building here. We get close to the trade deadline, similar to what I was saying with Washington and Avdia and Kispert. I wonder if they just like move off Simons, try to get some more picks, stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. That's a good one. I think I would focus on Scoot and Sharp. They did Nurkic is going to be weird too, because right, they moved off. Oh, we get a bandy setting. They moved off Drew Eubanks. Eubanks is the bank has moved to Phoenix, right? And Nurk is a pretty bad contract that I think they're going to be moving off of as well. So I don't know. I'm interested to see what they're going to do. What they're going to do with their bigs. All right. I saw somebody else. What Regulator said would be funny if Jordan Poole punched somebody. Yeah, that would be funny. I would like that. Are there All right, are we back? That was awesome. Pretty sick. Oh boy, Manny, what's up, Manny? Thanks for joining us. Manny says they just signed Grant to an absurd contract too. Please tell me I'm back right now. By the way, am I back? Okay, yeah. They just signed him to an absurd contract. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, I guess they have to pay somebody. So there you go. There you go. I mean, Grant will put up probably a ton of points. That's true. Jeremy Grant's so funny too, man, because you like he did this a couple of times last year. He'd put up those monster so rare scores, but they were like he scored 45 real life points, then had like 4 rebounds. Woozy said the Hawks starting power forward, Jalen Johnson or Onyeka, maybe DeAndre Hunter. You know what? I should have brought this up. I saw I saw a report yesterday. I forget where it came from, but that the Dallas Mavericks are trying to scoop up Clint Capella, which is no secret that Clint Capella is probably going to be on the move this year. I think they want to let Onyeka go, let him cook a little bit more. I don't think he'd be starting at power forward. I also don't see Jalen Johnson starting ahead of DeAndre Hunter. So I'm sure you're seeing if they move Capella, you're seeing Onyeka, DeAndre Hunter. I forget who they would start at the 3, and then Trey and DeJounte would be my guess. Okongwu's a fun one though, because he gets blocks. He's somebody that can just do like 14, 10, and 5 or something like that. I don't hate that at all. Yeah, I don't know. There was that reminded me of something else too. I forget what I was gonna say. Am I forgetting somebody else that starts the 3 for them? Or maybe is it DeAndre Hunter that starts the 3, right? Because they lost John Collins. I forget what they've done in the draft too. I got to brush up on my Atlanta, my A-Town down. Yeah, that's a good question. That reminded me of something else, and now I'm blanking too. The Wi-Fi going down sent me spinning. Oh yeah, they do have Sadiq Bey. I forgot about Sadiq Bey. Atlanta's another one of those teams, man, where if you told me they finished like 3rd or 9th, I'd buy both of them. George says, have you been buying in the offseason? Or going to wait and see what they do on So Rare? George, so not to tip my hand a little bit, but I've been paying attention to it. I've been watching like the market, a few like key pieces that I'm going to be going after that I'll probably talk about after I get them. But I'm not waiting for them to announce anything because I feel like I don't know, George, you pay attention more on the football side of things. Was there after they made the announcement, after they I know they're calling it a roadmap, whatever they did, whatever the new tweaks that they're making for the upcoming football season, did you see a lot of market movement on stuff? Because part of me wants to just like front run that a little bit. So any sort of moves I would like to make before they make all the NBA announcement, because I imagine that's where we see people like, oh yeah, basketball's coming. George said you missed the full day. Yeah, but it hasn't moved too much. The stuff that I've been looking at, honestly, has still been going down. So maybe it's not like the whole market dip, but the stuff that I was interested in has still been kind of making its way downtown. But yeah, probably in the next couple of weeks. He said, I think typically the new auctions moon first like 50 to 100 and then a couple weeks in a big dip. Yeah, that's the one thing I did learn about from last year. Like I might be at a percentage if I didn't own that stuff earlier, I might be at a percentage disadvantage in like the boost, but I don't think I'm going to be buying any new stuff, like new season 2 stuff. What I'm going to be doing is firing up. I think if I make any moves, they will be series 1 until we get like a month into the NBA season, because I just remember how overpriced everything was. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I really want to pick up a rare Anthony Davis. He's far too undervalued. Yeah, I do like him. The collections will surely come to NBA. Just depends if they match it to the football sides with a percentage boost or not. Yeah. Andrew Laird came on the show last week. So if you guys want to go like full Sorarian and haven't talked about it or didn't watch it, I'd recommend checking that out. He had a lot of fun takes about that. You guys know how I feel about the collection thing, but whatever. I think it's a cool thing, but if it impacts the game of play, I'm out. Just be good at the fantasy game, Be good at the fantasy game. I don't know, guys. This might be just an abbreviated show. This is what happens. We're in the dog days of summer. Shut up, Andy. We're not going to have a lot to do. We're not going to have a lot to do this week with not a lot of news. But that doesn't mean we're not going to fire it up every week. We might go 35 to 45. For the rest of this week, we'll have the bit on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. No Wednesday morning show. We'll have a show later in the afternoon, hopefully. Hopefully we'll do some more underdog too. Is it raining in New York? No, it's beautiful out, dude. It's like, let's do a weather check. We haven't done enough of that, so I'm glad you brought that up. It is 75 and sunny right now with a high of 85 today. Partly cloudy in the afternoon. Have you been hitting the gym? Yes. Monday through Friday. And that's not because I don't want to work out on the weekend. It's because the freaking trains are not running into the city right now. And it's tilting. Well, that's not true, actually. Like you can still do it, but it's just a little bit more annoying. Thoughts on Jason Tatum? I think he's good at basketball. Florian says, which under 23 player would you eye on So Rare Max? I haven't looked at the prices, Florian. I don't know. I'm really excited to see what Jalen Williams does this year. I think he's under 100, right? I'm really excited to see what he does. I'm always interested in dudes going into their second year too. I don't know how much Paolo is, but Paolo's another one where like that's usually where you see big jumps from between year 1, year 2, and year 2 and year 3. So Paolo's kind of fun. Keegan Murray's fun. The problem with Keegan Murray though is that so much of that offensive usage is just between Fox and Sabonis. Scotty Barnes too, man. I know Barnes kind of like fell off a cliff last year in a lot of ways, but the way that Toronto's building their roster right now, they're clearly testing out, can Scotty Barnes be like a point guard? And so if it works, and it depends which clip you watch on the internet lately, but if it works, he's going to be like a triple-double machine, because he already rebounds the ball pretty well. You're not going to see like a lot of 30-point games, but for Scotty Barnes at his age, at his price, if he's just doing like, 15, 12, and 11, if he's doing like poor man Russell Westbrook's, I don't know. I think that could be good. I know he doesn't have like the benefit of having Nick Nurse as his coach where he's going to be guaranteed to play 45 minutes, but that is fun. Did you all see the clip of Jimmy getting hit with a shoe in China? I did. That was crazy. Jeremy Sohan's fun too. Yeah, I don't hate Sohan. I don't hate Sohan. He's a big stock, guys. Did you catch Tandy and iRacer's interview, Captain Program? Yeah, all of it's on its last legs. All of it's on its last legs. I did not watch that episode though. Yeah, Keegan Murray's good. Franz Wagner. These are all good picks. All good picks. Şengün. I am excited about Şengün. I've been trying to draft him quite a bit in best ball. That's what I've been trying to do. All right, listen. I think we're just gonna call it there. Kelly Oubre's rumor to Boston. Does that make sense? I mean, if it's on like a really cheap vet minimum type situation, that's not bad. Kelly, I'm not a big Oubs fan, I'm not a big Oubs guy. I just don't think he makes sense on a lot of squads. He just seems like he'd be good in Washington, just like putting up buckets on a bad team. But yeah, come back tomorrow morning at 9. Make sure you follow us on Twitter so you can check out that giveaway for Anthony Edwards, little Ant-Man, and a LaMelo Ball. But happy Monday. Hope everybody has a great week, and we will catch up with you tomorrow. We are out.